Okay, everybody, by my clock, I got 6 o'clock. So Jon Gilbert's on. He would like to talk to you guys, and then after that, we'll go a couple questions before Coach Houston gets on. So, Jon.
Thanks, Malcolm. One, I'm really excited about the first game for our kids, our coaches, and staff. As I think back to mid-March when I was coming back on a plane from Fort Worth where the men's basketball tournament had been canceled, I feel like the last several months I've almost lived in dog years. You had no idea what the future held. It hadn't been an easy process to get here. And I really won't truly believe it till we step on the field. But I am confident we are definitely playing on Saturday. Our kids have been through so much adversity, starting practice, testing weekly, having to deal with positives, having to deal with contact tracing, and really the mental aspect of that. We've been doing that since mid-June. The number of starts, stops, we're going to play, we're not playing, all those things take a mental toll on everyone involved. And I'm just excited to be able to watch the Pirates compete on Saturday. And so one of the things we continue to work through, obviously we're in a new protocol being game week. We did the two nasal swab PCR test Monday, Wednesday. We've got the antigen test on Friday. And then we get with our medical group, the ECU medical staff, which has been outstanding to deal with, that's been working through all this. We'll get on the phone with the AAC medical advisory group, the Central Florida medical staff, talk about where we are from a testing standpoint, and then labeling the game a low, moderate, or high risk, and then making a determination of whether we're going to play. I feel really good at this point. Our testing numbers were outstanding over the last two tests, and I'm confident Friday will go well. I do want to touch base briefly on our helmet sticker that we released today. I fully support our student athletes and their goal to be a part of meaningful change. It's important we hear their message of wanting to foster unity. It's been a positive experience for me personally to hear their stories of our student athletes and then really watch them come together as a team. They're learning about their teammates, their different backgrounds, and learning to have difficult conversations. As an athletic director, you want all these student athletes to grow during their time here, grow and learn, and leave East Carolina with an education and be ready to become a leader in their next stage of life. And so I can't say enough about the support we receive from this community and this region, and Pirate Nation is special, and we definitely need their support. And so we've had a lot of productive conversations today with our supporters. I'm a big believer in, transparency and communication. And I wanted to make sure that people heard from our team, our coach, and our department before we ran out on the field on Saturday. And so excited to watch us play. And I'll be happy to take any questions about any topic at this time.
Hey, Mr. Gilbert, I was wondering if you could kind of take us through what the stadium will look like as far as, family members, the number allowed in, and sort of the sidelines and just the look of it and how it'll be.
Well, in most cases, it's going to look very similar to a normal game day. Now, we'll have expanded sidelines. So, you'll see both teams will be stretched out a little longer than they normally are. We will have coaches and staffs that will be wearing masks during the game. I was pleased that the governor gave us 350 tickets. we'll be giving UCF 100 for their families. ECU will take the additional 250, and then we'll be sitting in pairs. So each student athlete will get that's dressing is going to get 2 tickets, and so you'll see those individuals spread out on the south side of the stadium in groups of 2, social distancing. But we're going to limit the access in the stadium where they're going to stay more in their seating area, and then behind, obviously, we'll have access to, concession stands, restrooms, and then we'll work to get all those individuals parked. And I anticipate, we still will have several hundred people there that will work the stadium, work the game for game day. And so I look forward to seeing that on Saturday. Central Florida will be on their on the north side, behind their bench, their 100 tickets.
Thank you.
John, do you know Central Florida's travel plans, when they'll get in town, that type of thing?
Yeah, they're planning on arriving sometime Friday afternoon. We both are doing the antigen test on Friday morning, getting those results, and then making our determination how we proceed. So I don't have an exact departure time for them, but they'll be in sometime in the afternoon. When we go to Georgia State next week, we'll do the 3 tests a week, the antigen on Friday, and then we'll wait for those results to make sure both us and Georgia State are clear before we get on the plane.
John, you addressed a little bit in your letter today, the attendance potentially for the Navy game. I guess how difficult will that be, with such a limited amount to kind of decide, who gets to go? Obviously, I know priority has a lot to do with that as well.
Yeah, we're going to really we've had some initial conversations this week on that. We're going to turn our focus to that on Monday with the 7%. Obviously, we're going to have to reduce everyone. So as it relates to seating, we're going to make sure we get our donors in by priority. But, we're going to limit the visiting team to 100 tickets. We'll continue to offer 2 to our own football team so they can have their family members attend. But then we're also going to try to spread it as much as we can, because there are a number of constituent groups that really do need to get in, from a priority standpoint. And so we're going to have to be really methodical on how we do that.
John, what does it mean for the program, maybe from an exposure standpoint, to have the game bumped up to ABC?
Well, certainly the exposure that national TV and a channel like ABC brings is, number one, I would say, really important for this region, for this university, and then specifically our football program. It's going to be a 3.5-hour infomercial with a lot of things that are East Carolina related. And so I'm excited that we have that opportunity. I like the fact that our fan base is going to be able to access it nationwide. I've heard from, pirates all over that are really excited that, they're going to be able to tune in to a nationally televised program and see the stadium. So I am excited about that and the exposure it will bring us all.
Okay, do we have any further questions for John? Okay, John, thank you very much for your time.
All right, thanks, guys.
Okay, and I believe Coach Houston is on, so there he is. Hey, Coach, how are you?
Good. How are you guys?
Doing well. We'll turn it over to you for an opening comment, and then we'll go with questions.
Well, for the most part, practice preparations are completed for the week. For UCF, we'll have a final, some meetings tomorrow afternoon, and then a jog through in the stadium. and everything's pretty set and ready to go. It was a good week of practice. I thought we had a fantastic Tuesday practice. Yesterday and today were solid, and especially from our returners. Freshmen still got a first week. I mean, I've coached for many, many years. Freshmen, the first week of game week, you got to coach them up on how to practice on Wednesday and Thursday. It's not quite like high school was. So, good practices. Team's excited to play. Really excited about opening with such a talented opponent, highly ranked opponent, great opportunity for the program, conference opponent, and glad it's at home. So, we're 100% COVID negative coming out of yesterday's tests. We'll have a few guys that'll, will not be available from return to play or injury situation Saturday, but for the most part, the bulk of our team will be dressed and ready to go.
Okay, any questions for Coach Houston now?
Coach, what gives you trouble more sleeping at night? The testing every other day, or the amount of young guys you're playing on Saturday?
Or our opponent. I mean, any of the three, just pick one. I feel good about our testing from the standpoint of we've had, negative on Monday, negative on Wednesday. Our guys are being very conscientious, so I would expect us to be negative tomorrow. So I feel pretty good about that going into the game. I got a bunch of guys that are playing their first college football game. They're going to be excited. I told them if they screw up, just screw up going 100 miles an hour. We'll figure the rest of it out. Big challenge on Saturday. Everybody's excited to play.
Coach, we haven't asked, at least in a while, about the punting situation. I know you had an oar on the depth chart there. Is that still kind of John's job, or is Luke in the mix? Could you use both at all, or do you want one guy?
Yeah, I mean, especially this year, I think both of them have to be prepared to punt. You'll probably see both of them punt this year. I think the competition has been very good, and I think it's been good for each. They've been good for each other in that they've pushed each other. John's had a solid preseason, so has Luke. I would see that competition is very neck and neck right now.
Sticking with the specialist coach, with Verity right now, what do you feel like is his range? I mean, with the season he's had in the past and the success he's had, does he have a max range that you feel good with?
In his opinion or my opinion? I mean,
We'll go with both.
He thinks he can hit anything 60 yards and in. He probably can. I mean, he's hit a 60-yarder in practice before. So it depends on weather conditions and game situation, but certainly we're very fortunate to have a talented kicker. I think he's one of the best in the country.
Coach, can you give us the latest on personnel overall, injuries and whatever that major concerns that you might have as you approach the last day or two before the ball game?
Everybody that's available to play will play. I don't think Coach Heupel's going to give me his injury report either. So you get one out of him, I'll give you one.
Hey, Coach, I wonder if you've gotten a sense, obviously how important football is to the community there. Have you gotten a sense of just the excitement level surrounding the program where not only is it game day finally, but, the fact that people can't go to it, they can still watch it and watch it go down Saturday?
Well, I mean, I think I've heard from a lot of alums and the fans that I'm close to personally. They're all excited for the beginning of the season. It's kind of a strange year in that, we've kind of been in a bubble. I mean, other than my wife and kids and the people within the program right here, I'm not around anybody. So, everybody's kind of keeping to themselves. I think that, everyone across the country is excited for football season to get here. So each fan base is going to be ecstatic about their team playing. And I think, especially with the national stage that we're going to play on Saturday, I would think that all of Pirate Nation is very excited to see this team back and see this team playing. And, had some board of trustees people here on campus today, spoke to a couple of them, and, they just are so excited about the bright future of the program. And you look at these kids and kind of the enthusiasm that they have. I really like our group. We're not all grown up and everything just yet, but boy, it's an exciting bunch to have in the building.
the unveiling of the social justice patches, how important was it just to watch the players come together, and what was that process like when they decided what cause they wanted to choose this year?
Well, I think that, as everything around this country has occurred over the last 6 months or so, obviously there's been lots of conversations. And, we have, dialogue constantly within our program regarding a lot of areas. And this is one that I was really proud of, the conversations and the dialogue that our players had, within the locker room, just them. Some of the dialogue that the leadership council brought, to our group on a weekly basis, and just how they wanted to represent the program. Very much. I hope that everyone with Pirate Nation watched the video that the players put together, talking about what they felt and why they were doing this. And the one thing, I've heard people say, why are we making a political? There's nothing political about this. This is completely human rights, and just, purely what is right. But our players, I support them completely. They're very unified in this. They have a platform, and this is important to them, that they speak out for what they feel is right as human beings, for each other, moving forward, and for our world and our country. I'm very proud of them, the way they've represented themselves in the university.
Okay, are there any other questions for Coach Houston this afternoon? Okay, Coach, thanks for your time, and we'll talk to you after the
Thanks
game
a
on
lot.
Saturday.
We'll see you on Saturday. Game time's here.
See you, Coach.